the Deadwood Jedi. And thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you'll be subscribing at the end of it. If you like this kind of content, please do. It's very helpful for me. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 sub mark. This is moving much faster than I ever expected, but I am thrilled by it. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for all the messages and the comments and the expressions of success that you guys have been having with your clan boss teams. I'm loving that. I'm glad these videos have been helpful for you guys, and the calculator's been working for everyone. That said, I want to talk a little bit about what this video is before I get into it. I know that white whale composition that me and Murder came up with is just super cool, and everybody wants to do it. Murder's 80 million one key 2-1 speed ratio team is just ridiculous. I'm still amazed by it. But I know most people don't have Mashald, so you've been trying to find a budget version, a different version where you can use a more typical speed champion that works on a normal 3-turn cooldown. Well, I figured it out today. Finally, I've been working at it, looking at it, and I finally found a composition that works, and I'm going to show it to you. And not only did I find a composition that works, I found one that can be free to play as well. Means the only champions you need to make it work are either login rewards or farmable. So I'm going to go ahead, show you guys those, and I do want to say, don't look at this video and say, I'm going to copy exactly what's going on there. I mean, you can, but this is a template. I'm not doing crazy damage with this, even though I think it's kind of impressive considering who I have on my team to do it with. You guys are going to be the ones that make the damage out of this possible. I'm just kind of coming up with this theory, this idea, and proving that it can work. It's a template for you to build on, and I'm really excited to see how far you guys can build on it. I want to see some 1-key nightmare damage, some 2-key ultimate nightmare damage coming out of this. So I'm really excited to see where you guys take this kind of a build. And I'm sure you can do this with other champions in different ways. I don't think this is the only way to do it, but the thing is, this is proof that it's possible. So now you guys can hit it again with some renewed energy. All right, guys, here we are at the calculator. So really quick, I want to go over what we have here. We have High Katoon, Doom Priest. We're going to put in Frozen Banshee for Champion 3 there in a moment. We also have Tayrel and Sandlash Survivor. The way this composition works, High Katoon increases the speed on all our champions. Sandlash Survivor extends that buff, and that way we keep that buff almost the entire time. Now, one of the reasons why High Katoon's moving so fast in this composition is those turn meter boosts kind of throws things off. Where Mashald's speed tune was pretty simple and consistent, this one takes a little bit more finessing because of that turn meter boost. So it takes a little time to get there. The biggest concern with this composition, as you can see the speeds there, stuff that you guys can read on your own, the biggest key to this composition is not getting stunned. You have to avoid getting stunned, because once that happens, it pushes the cooldowns back one and everything gets thrown off. So having a cleanser is huge for this. You maybe can get away with a block debuff person too, but High Katoon has to go fastest, and so that can be a little bit difficult trying to have a 2-turn debuff block cover the stun. So just be aware of that also. One of the great things with Sandlash Survivor is he brings a lot of utility. He's very good for clan boss. He's a defensive champ. He's perfect for this. Extends those debuffs. It's what the cursor's showing right now, pushing those along so that we are fully moving at the fastest speed possible the whole fight, and that's a real big boost for us. I do have a possible substitution for him. This is the free-to-play friendly option for Sandlash Survivor. Instead of Sandlash, we bring in a champion that is farmable from the very first campaign. If you don't know who I'm talking about, I'm talking about Valerie. Valerie is a spectacular champion, has a really cool kit, and I think we've all been sleeping on her. You're going to see me select her in just a moment here, put her in this composition. I have both her and Sandlash in the calculator to use, but she not only has a debuff extension, just like Sandlash Survivor, a buff extension just like Sandlash Survivor, she also has a decrease debuff ability, which means she's going to clear the stun for us. Now, the only problem is her AI is really bad, and it prioritizes her putting up her shield ability first. If it went the other way around, this would be the perfect person to bring in here. So as it is, it's free to play, but you have to manual the run. And that's the only negative thing about it. But this composition is available to everybody. You can farm Valerie, and Haikatoon is one of the rewards for just playing this game long enough. So all in all, it's really good. I used Doom Priest to cleanse the stuns, just made it simpler for testing and to show that this composition is feasible. Alright guys, I've been up all night trying to get this video together for you. I did a bunch of different runs and recorded them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, this is a Nightmare run. Now against Nightmare Affinity, in order to make this work, Haikatoon needs to use her A1 ability like she just did, and she's going to need to do that 3 more times. So 4 times in total, and then she can increase speed. Sandless Survivor needs to do that once, A1 on the first turn, and then she can use her Endless Sands ability after that. And by doing that, it's just going to set up the tune so that everything is in order, and on turn 5 we should be in a 2-1 speed ratio. So that was the second attack by Haikatoon. Here you can see Sandlash Survivor going ahead and using her Endless Sands ability to extend buffs. That's the third attack by Haikatoon, 1 more. And we have to wait and we'll be all set in this. Now, the reason why there's so much setup for this is this speed is not tuned for Nightmare. It's actually tuned for Ultimate Nightmare. And it just works for both, which is great. This should be the last time. There you go, Haikatoon using her A1, and now she'll be able to use her ability. We can actually go ahead and click it on auto. I'm not sure that I do that just yet. Want to make sure everything's right, but it is in auto mode at this point. So the only caveat here, she uses her speed up buff and we're in it. The only caveat obviously is we need to protect against the stun. However, we're on Affinity boss, and you notice the boss stunned Doom Priest. Now it's fine that Doom Priest gets stunned. She's not a damage dealer, she's there to cleanse it anyway, so that's going to be just fine. The only issue with that is obviously we can plan that now. We know that an Affinity boss isn't going to select Haikatoon to hit, they're going to select the red Affinity. So I did do a run where I brought Rosin in, and that actually proved to be correct, where the stun went to Rosin instead of Haikatoon. So I didn't even need Doom Priest in that role. So there is some flexibility there when you're fighting the Affinity bosses. Obviously, blue Affinity is going to be a little tricky because Haikatoon is going to be the highest priority for them to attack, so you'll need a cleanser for that run. Otherwise, there's lots of flexibility. You probably won't need a cleanser for blue or for green Affinity bosses, though the speed debuff could be a problem when you're fighting the green boss. Anyway, you guys know all that. I'm gonna go ahead and run this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and run a full-on Ultra Nightmare version, and then I'm gonna show you a run with Valerie in it and show you how effective she can be at this type of in this type of a tune. And I'll intersperse a few notes along the way, but in general, I'm gonna try and make this video as short as possible and just let it go. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Just to find out how to cease. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the sun.
something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my fun land. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
So 19.6 million damage, very good. I think considering that this isn't optimized whatsoever, definitely could be doing more than this. Not bad for a first run at it in any case. I did do another run of this same composition, but with Rosin Scarhide in instead of Doom Priest, since we knew the affinity boss was going to target the red affinity champions. I'm sorry, green affinity boss target the red affinity champions. And you can see we did do a little bit more damage. That's definitely 2 key level for Nightmare, so definitely room for improvement. For my level, I should probably be doing more than this, but I think this is good and provides a really good benchmark for what this kind of composition can do damage-wise. 2 key Nightmare is not bad. Let's go ahead though and look at Ultimate Nightmare, because we can port this composition straight into that. There is no change in the speed, which is fantastic. And then after that, we're gonna bring in Valerie, and I'm excited about that. I want to see how this one works. All right. The great part about doing this against Ultimate Nightmare is that it's full auto. Don't have to do anything to ensure this run works perfectly. You just press it and go. Now, granted, that is because we have Doom Priest in there, just to make sure. But if you can ensure that your stun is getting cleansed at the appropriate time, you are in good shape, my friends. It is a pretty simple composition to do. Remember, we did 19 and we did 21 million before on Nightmare, so we'll see here how good we can do on Ultimate Nightmare. Well, that's not too shabby. 17 million damage against Ultimate Nightmare with this team. I think if you pulled these champs out of a hat, you'd say that's not an Ultimate Nightmare squad. But you know what? We did okay. I think it really goes to show how much more damage we're getting out of all those extra attacks. It's really very effective. If we can learn to survive a little bit longer, we only lasted like 5 minutes in this fight. You're definitely seeing 3 key territory with this team. So there's a lot of room for improvement with this type of a setup. And let's go ahead and start looking at Valerie. Okay, as we go in here, we have to make one small adjustment in order for Valerie, who is replaced Doom Priest, in order for Valerie and Sandlash to extend and cleanse the debuff. So we're going to wait one turn to use their ability. So Haikatun did his A1, and Valerie here, she can use her A3, the shield ability. It doesn't matter, just cannot do the buff extension yet. After that point, at this point right now, we can go ahead and just use our skills as they become available. Got to make sure that we're using the speed up buff like we are right there when it's available, and we got to make sure that we're using the buff extension when it's available as well, like right now. So one of the things about this type of composition is this is not the only way you can do this. I know there are compositions you can make with Apothecary and Haikatun in conjunction. I'm sure if you have even more advanced champions like Sify, you can make something like this possible as well. I've found one that works with Krisk, have to re-find it, I lost it. And I know that when you're fighting on Nightmare difficulty, the speeds you need are a lot lower as well. But when it comes to making this particular composition work, all you have to do is wait one turn, and then you just have to make sure to use this speed up ability whenever it's present. You have to use, and everybody else, you're just kind of going as you normally would. And then the only other thing you need to do, you saw the stun right there. Here goes Valerie. She has this ability, increases the duration of all buffs. Also decreases the duration of all debuffs on allies by one turn. Guess what that's going to do? Takes away that stun. Eureka. Now, I've had a lot of questions about how does a run like this work? How are we able to achieve that 2-1 speed tune? The thing is that everybody takes ticks. You can see that yellow bar, the turn meter, just kind of ticks up a section at a time. That's the champion speed moving on each of those ticks. And at the end of one of those ticks, if someone has a full turn meter and they're the fastest person with the full turn meter, they take their turn. Fairly simple to get, right? So in a composition like this, what we're doing is we're going so fast that by the time you'll notice Clan Boss has just completed his full turn meter for the first time. And that's when the last couple of our champions are finishing up and they just overtake them because they're moving so much faster. That's why our slowest champion is actually the first champion, because they actually have less speed they need to lap the clan boss. And our fastest champion is slowest because the number of ticks that they have to traverse to outpace the clan boss is greater. And so that's essentially why the tune falls into the way it does, where the slowest champion goes first and the fastest champions go last. right, 14 million damage, not too shabby considering we got a level 50 Valerie, no masteries, no damage, hardly any health and defense to sustain. I feel like a few more turns and we could have done some real damage there. So we're taking a look at the team right now and the gear that we're rocking. My whole goal is just to keep them alive, not really to do damage so much, so we're not exactly breaking any records here as far as damage dealing goes. Now you'll notice first off that I have Doom Priest at 179. That's not what I had in the calculator. It does work though at this speed. So you can see there is a little bit of leeway with some of the speeds that you're running with here. So I didn't want to go back and refilm all that. I think that explanation was just fine, and this should give you a good idea. Now we have almost 4K defense, 40,000 health. I'm not going to spend too much time on this stuff, guys. I just want to kind of go through it quickly so you can kind of see. I know that's something that everybody likes to see and know, so you know what to run. Just kind of go over the totals here. I have everybody in lifesteal gear, so you guys got that. There's the speed, the defense, the HP. Obviously we can optimize all of this stuff. We can put some crit rate and damage and get a little bit better run, more damage out of it. We got 226 on Sandlashed, again a little bit under what we had in the calculator. It works just fine, you don't need to worry about it. High Katoon we have going pretty fast, 251. Pretty decent on the defense side of things, but again at that speed we're trying to just get as much as we can like sustainability wise. Here we go with Frozen Banshee, again lifesteal gear. She's got great defense, okay health, accuracy's perfect, 195 speed. And then let me make sure. So the last champion's obviously Valerie. She is only level 50, just could not get her defense and HP high enough to make a real run at it. Put her in stalwart gear to try and keep her alive longer. It did not work, obviously. 228 speed though does keep her in line with Sandlash Survivor. If you're looking on how to gear her out, I would use Sandlash as a template for that. But yeah, that's the champs. There are so many of you out there that are intrigued and excited about that white whale composition and are just like dying to be able to use it for your teams, but you don't have Mashald. So this opens the door to a lot more variety, ways to put together a white whale type of composition, a 2-1 ratio team. Hopefully that's going to be really helpful for you guys. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the whole community actually to see what kind of new things we're going to be able to pull out with this. So if you guys like this, please subscribe to the video, like it, and tell your friends about it so they can do better in Clan Boss themselves. We all want to do more damage. Let's get that top chest, right? All right. Well, till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.